Hello whiskey lovers and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. It's a beautiful spring day. It almost feels like summer. What better whiskey to try than another Glenfiddich? Glenfiddich, the most famous distillery on the planet, I should think, founded in 1887. And we've spoken recently about the Grand Cru and the Winter Storm and another couple of others. But there's another series that I would like to highlight today, and that is the series The Age of Discovery, which was launched a few years ago. 3 different expressions came in the Age of Discovery release, and the first one was a Madeira Cask release in which the Glenfiddich, 19 years old, was finished on Madeira casks. Then we had the bourbon cask as well, and finally the bourbon cask was actually an homage to the great American river Mississippi, on which the bourbon barrels were transferred from New Orleans to elsewhere in the United States. And then there was a third one, which was a wine cask finish, which was actually an homage to the Beagle, the boat that traveled across the world and landed in South America, for example, where they found those South American wines. But like I said, the first one was this one, the Madeira, and that's an homage to 15th century Portuguese voyagers who were trying to find a passage to India and discovered a lot of islands along the way, for example, Porto Santo and Madeira. Now, what is Madeira actually? Madeira is like a port wine, but it's different. It's a fortified wine made of, on the Portuguese island Madeira, obviously. And those islands are off the coast of Africa. But what makes them unique is the estufagem aging process. Estufagem, and that means it's an aging process that was meant to how to put it, to reproduce or to duplicate the long voyage in the tropics, the long sea voyage through the tropics. What they do now is they for the best quality wines, Madeira, they put the wine in barrels and put them in so-called cantera warehouses, where the wine is thus exposed to the heat of the sun and it ages through the heat of the sun, and this can go up for 20 to 100 years actually. And it's that kind of heat that in the wine produces those rich and warm remarkable flavors. If you've not yet tried a Madeira wine, give it a go. It's lovely. You can try it as an aperitif or even as dessert on its own. It's quite a stunning drink if you have a good one. Now, those good casks were selected by Brian Kinsman, the master blender of Glenfiddich, to finish his 19 years old Glenfiddich on. And by the way, the Age of Discovery was the first time ever that Glenfiddich released a 19 years old single malt, by the way. So this one was finished on Madeira casks, on those said Madeira casks, and it is bottled at 40% ABV. What can I say? It's the minimum, and it's my only point of criticism for a lot of releases. But this Age of Discovery is also bottled at 40% ABV. So a 19 years old single malt from Glenfiddich, finished on those special Madeira fortified wine casks, bottled at 40%. It's a beautiful golden color. It's actually amber. It is, yeah, that's more amber than gold. A deep gold to amber, whatever. Let's just find out if this Glenfiddich is any good on the nose. Oh, it is. Not only do you get those typical classic Glenfiddich traits, soft stewed pears, but this immediately is enhanced by the Madeira. I get some clear earthy notes with some ripe figs and orange marmalade. I get some fresh gooseberries, but also some unripe strawberries and rhubarb in a stew, warm rhubarb. It's actually quite excellent. It's uber fruity. Oh, this is actually quite lovely. Beautiful nose, right on the palate. Oily and quite spicy actually. I get some black pepper and cinnamon. The fruit returns immediately. I get the rhubarb again. I also get some candied oranges, some raisins. The stewed pears, they appear, and mid-palate it becomes a bit drying, but not in a disturbing way. And I have to say, the fact that this is only 40% ABV, the whiskey does not suffer for it. It's good enough. The mouthfeel is good. The strength is okay. It's actually a lovely single malt. Right, on the finish. Finish is actually quite long. Quite satisfied, candy-like sweet. A bit spicy. Candied oranges towards the death, some apricots maybe, some papaya. Very fruity. It remains very fruity throughout. This is a lovely expression, and it does not suffer from the low ABV, like I said. This one is by the way much better than the bourbon cask reserve that I've had in the same series. Unfortunately, I've not yet had the fortune of trying the wine cask expression, but the Madeira Cask expression is actually a very, very lovely single malt indeed. Very well worth seeking out. Although I have been looking out for it, but trying to find all three again, because it does come in a little 3-pack as well. But the Madeira expression, which was the first one, seems to be quite hard to find nowadays. But if you can find it, it is well worth picking up a bottle of this, because this is beautiful in this type of weather. It's almost, it feels like summer. It's like 25 degrees Celsius here in Belgium while it's only early April. Imagine that. Lovely expression, very summery, very fruity, and still very Glenfiddich. And there you have it. And that's all for this Whisky Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings real soon. And in the meantime, stay home, stay safe, enjoy your drams. May the malt be with you. Bye bye.